Wednesday, August the 19th, and we've got a difficult track for track of the day. I did get the bronze medal. It was saying next medal, but like next medal would be silver medal. I did get the bronze. I can't get the silver at 55. I haven't broke 1 minute yet, so 55 is a long ways away. There's gonna be a few people that struggle on this track. I drove it for a few hours earlier and I'm still not really proficient with it, but I mean, I still like it better than a full speed map. Because I can't finish some of those maps, like a full speed map, can't even get around. So at least I can get around this one, even though I haven't yet. I will. I will also be glad to be done with this map after this cup of the day, to be perfectly honest with you. But we're still gonna be here and have a little fun with it if we can. But after I do the cup of the day with this, I'm very likely to, one of the things I've been doing like earlier today was, without even being on camera, which I probably will put some on camera, was going back to like the early weekly grands, even though they don't really count for anything now because they're closed. They're like earlier seasons. I don't get any points for the medals. It doesn't count towards anything with my score. Even if I get medals on it, it doesn't really help me get anything. So it's really just to purely enjoy driving the track and nothing else. And I've been going back and playing some of those weekly grands just to enjoy driving around, making 10 laps. See how some of those earlier tracks were that I haven't had the opportunity to drive. I'm just doing terrible. I did put one on the board, right? Yeah, 107. Okay. So what I will probably do, I'm thinking, is to, after cup of the day, I will record a weekly grand, and I think I'm gonna talk about some stuff that I've been studying lately with the block universe. Been learning a lot about the block universe and how time doesn't work the way we think that time works, because there's this problem in science where they call it simultaneity. I think that's the right way, simultaneity. So in any case, what it means is that there's no definitive now. Your now is different than my now, and if two people walking past each other might have a different now. And they had this thing called the Andromeda paradox, where if the two people are on Earth and they're walking past each other, then what they would say would be right now in Andromeda would be separate by days. And the reason for that is because that the distance of the Andromeda galaxy, it's like 2.5 million light years. You'd have such a compound effect over that distance of two people from Earth walking past each other that they create like a different slice of what timeline that they, like what plane they're on with Andromeda. It's a lot of like really weird stuff that's really hard to explain, but like, so what it left science and philosophers with is this thing called the block universe, and it's really weird because what they're trying to say is that basically with the block universe, all the events in the past, present, and future exist at the same time. So it's already written. Very deterministic, you know, your future's already there. We're just kind of, our consciousness just gliding through until we reach those states. But they're already there. And I tend to think, you know, that may be the case in a fourth dimensional way of thinking, but I also think you go a dimension higher than that, and then you have every possible future. So I kind of lean more towards presentism is what they call it. But anyways, in other words, that the past might be there, but the beyond the present, it hasn't been written yet. It hasn't happened yet. Those parts of the block don't exist yet. Because you have to think that for somebody standing there, if two people in Andromeda are walking past each other, what they're going to agree on for being right now is going to be different for Earth by days. Let's say 3 or 4 days difference. Which means for one of them, they might say right now is what I'm experiencing right now is right now. But the other one might say, no, that was 3 days ago, and that right now is whatever's happening with me 3 days from now. Like it's already there. So, who's right and who's wrong? They're both real, and they're both right now, depending on who you ask. Block universe is a strange thing to get into. And then you have some proponents where you have some people that believe in like maybe time is not necessarily real in the first place. Maybe we're moving from frame to frame. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. We're just moving from frame to frame. It's all a lot of heavy philosophical way of thinking. It's such a complex thing to think about life and existence in general. You know, what is it all? What is it? Why is it? And you know, for some people, you know, the answer is just God, and they're happy with that. And then there's other people that are trying to deeply understand that connection and trying to find some scientific way of understanding practically what everything is. But I never forget that we as humans are optimized to live on Earth. We do very well on this planet. in this time. Your time might be affected by gravity also, because like in Interstellar, like if you're orbiting a black hole, something heavy, like your mom, no, I'm just kidding, something heavy, then your time will move slower relative to someone that's on a lighter mass like Earth, which adds to the now problem in a different way. Not bad, 101. Still haven't broke 1 minute, but hey, that's a 101.5. That's pretty good for me for this track, honestly. In any case, us being like optimal for Earth, like it's hard to trust that, because so much of what we know is based on what we see, and we already know certain things like colors aren't necessarily, I mean, they are real to some extent, but it's more of a like a user interface for how we interpret different frequencies and the interplay between certain frequencies and certain surfaces, maybe objects. It may even be like a certain way of reality also. We can't even be sure that it's not like a 2D reality that just appears in 3 dimensions. Or it could be a 4D reality that appears in 3 dimensions. And if that makes no sense to you, it's because your vision is telling you that you see things like red and green. But red and green don't really fundamentally exist in physics as like a property or a molecule or something. It's just their frequencies, and it's just how we interpret it. So it looks like red, it looks like blue, but those really aren't a thing. For all intents and purposes, for us, it's very real to have these colors, but again, that's optimized for our existence on Earth. Which means when we look out into the universe, we don't know what we're looking at, and like, as far as there could be a lot of things that we're missing because we're trusting in our vision. I don't have a good feeling about this cup of the day, but you know, I generally don't anyway. Like, I'm not worried about it. It would be nice to get one that's flows a little certain way, and it would be also nice. I've practiced this one a little bit as far as trying to go faster, not slowing down for some of these curves. I'm gonna have to learn it at some point. That's the only way to get better, is to try to capture that other extra 10-15 seconds that everybody else is getting. And I know the only way to do that is to hold the gas and go around some of those curves in the beginning and figure out what the damn line is. And as uncomfortable as that is, and as many mistakes as I will make, but I'm still making a lot of mistakes going slow. So maybe it doesn't make a difference, really. Maybe it's better to go ahead and start learning it fast and rip that band-aid off. I don't know. I'm trying it both ways. I try it the most comfortable way. I don't want to get too worked up about this game, like trying to go around way too fast, but I do need to learn how to do that a little bit. But I'm also going to go at a pace that I'm fairly comfortable with too, you know? Division 5, I don't know. Let's see. It's going to be Division 4. Okay. What's up, Division 4? Alright, we're on warm up. Ba-ba-ba-boom. 4 minutes and a half. Alright, well, you know, as usual, I'm gonna do the best I can do for my driving. Might not be as good as everybody else's yet, but where a lot of people make their mistakes is they try too hard to go faster than the guys next to them, and they're not able to do that. I know I can't do that right now, so just like I've done in the practice and the qualification and stuff like that, you know, I'm just gonna race the way I'm gonna race and end up where I end up at, you know. Okay, 5 seconds. Maybe we can complete the first round. The no knockout round. Alright, so my goal is reach the finish line. No elimination this round. And it's a good thing too. I was almost hoping for a Division 5 tonight, because then I could have felt more confident that I would finish in the middle somewhere. Whereas I'm not entirely convinced that's going to happen in Division 4. It says there's 58 players and I'm currently 34, but that doesn't mean anything much, especially on a no knockout round. But there definitely will be a little more pressure in the next round, so not just for me, but for everybody, so we'll see what happens. And it looks like I got number 30. Still on my candy for putting the smoke, which I've talked about in a couple of videos. Got my nicotine patch. Got some candy. This is called Bit O Honey. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. Scrub that tree. 44. Man, this one's not going to last very long at all, is it? It's a very hard track. Everybody's been saying how hard this track is. Even the best players were like struggling. A lot of people gave up trying to get the AT. And like I said, I played it for several hours and never got the silver. Never went below a minute. So it requires a certain skill set, I suppose, that a lot of people don't have. $47 somehow going to the next round, but I don't know if we're going to get much further than that. Got 49 and some 50s. Believe we will be spectating very soon. What? Oh my. Wow. Okay, I get one more round. Wow. Ooh, don't run off the road anyway. If this is it, then this is it. Let's just run our lap. Be careful. Make sure we're using our turn signals. Oh no! Bang, 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 bang. 40. What? No. People tried to jump for the risky finish and they got slowed down in the grass probably. I don't know. There was a DNF up there. That's 2 rounds now that I didn't think. All right, I get another round. Sweet. I'm not complaining. Was not really expecting it. But I will certainly try to enjoy it. Boom. Man, it's like I kept hitting that thing, huh? Bang. And it looks like we're out with a 40. Now I can eat some more candy. See, people going for the risky finish. There, they got it. That's a tough one. I mean, I got it like twice in practice, and it wasn't consistent enough. Dust in your eyes. Love the creativity of some of the names. Hoops and chips and hoops and chips and hoops and chips. That looks like Lightning McQueen is headed to the front. Good job, Lightning. I'm glad to be done with this map, and even if they use it later on for some reason and I do have to drive it again, at least I'm done with it for now. But I mean, also, at least I was able to reach the finish too, you know. The ones I really don't like are the ones where I can't even get to the finish. Some of the black maps are like that. And some of the full speed maps are like that. Some of these guys want more full speed tracks, and it's just everybody can't drive those, and I'm one of them. I'm not at that level. That's not my forte. Not a whole lot of people going for the risky finish at this point. Halfway through the match, just about. Abaddon. Haven't seen him in a while. Trying to see how some of these guys are driving at the front here. Right on past the risky. I don't blame him. That risky is hard to get. That ramp does not jump up where you need to get to go to that risky finishes. You got to be going really fast and you have to aim it precise, or you don't go into that box. If the ramp was like just a little bit higher, you'd be able to, it would be easy, but it's like, it's almost level with the block you're trying to jump to. J-Day running up front right now. Okay, risky finish. So besides the bit of honey, I've also got these little strawberry candy things. Those are pretty good. And I also have the butterscotch. So I have a variety to reward myself for not having a cigarette. And I have a 2-liter bottle that I'm drinking out of. Don't judge me. Look, it's just like a bigger 20-ounce bottle, so it lasts longer and it's cheaper. Okay, where are we at? The last 10. See Lunatic up there. See Phil, Xena. Ooh, Insomni taking the lead. on Team Slow, but he's anything but. Okay, taking the lead on that. Lunatic tried to snipe him, but couldn't quite get it. And Phil and Uncle Mount are out. Lunatic struggling in the back. You know, the thing that keeps getting to me is that I'm going to have to, if I plan on moving up a division, let's say go to Division 3 more often, this is the level I'm going to have to get accustomed to playing. Like your top guys in a Division 4 is where you're going to have to be to barely make it into Division 3. All right, we're getting thin in the crowd now, as we are now down to 6. So funny when people don't reassign their horn. It's on the same stick that they're steering with and they're pushing it in too hard. That's not Fennig here, it's I think it's Pun. I think it's this car. I think. If not, I apologize. Not really. I don't have anything to apologize for. Somebody's driving around the track blowing a horn at everybody. Hey! How you doing? Diddly-doo, diddly-doo. See what I mean? Oh, turned a little early there. All right, but the race is not over. It's still anybody's game right now. And it looks like J-Day will be going out with the risky finish. The final four. I don't know, is it Pun or is it Fana? Or is it both of them? Could be both of them. Driving around blowing their horn. I think Fana might be doing it too. Difficult to tell. Difficult to tell. Pun. Okay, the last three. Oh no. He zigged when he should have zagged. Ooh. Uh-oh. He could be in trouble there. Oh. He had to go for it, but it wasn't enough. When you're in the back of the pack, you have to go for the risky. I mean, you're out either way. All right, the final round is between Yoiramen and Fana. Yoiramen, I don't know how to pronounce these names, but we are on board with them and seeing the final round of this Cup of the Day. Fana playing some catch up, and it looks like it could be Yoiramen's match if he can stay in the front. Don't make any mistakes. Ooh, and lands it perfectly for a win. All right, well, there you have it. There is your winners. Yorman, followed by Thana and Mad Cat. See you later.